Hooty-hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. It's Wednesday. We got September 22nd. I'm Tall Mike. The market booming again today. The Dow's up about 350 points. Nasdaq's up 100. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, he's talking today. He's going to give us the news. He's going to talk about the taper. What's going to happen? Well, what we got right now is a trader's market, okay? A trader's market. I mean, one day the market's up, and by the end of the day, it may be back down. I mean, this is moving. It can move 300 points on the Dow in as little as 10 minutes. It's a trader's market, and I've been jumping in and jumping out and collecting profits along the way. Now, is it too early to buy the dip? I think it is. I think this has more to come back in. Now, we may get a little run up here, but I do think we're going to retest the recent low and actually go lower. We'll see. Jerome Powell talking today could bring the markets down, could bring them down today. We're up 350 points. We could actually close down. But then again, he could talk it up. He could be talking the taper. He likes to talk about the taper, but he's not going to taper. He's going to spend more and more money. Now, are you like me? Do you feel like something's wrong? Something's wrong in the U.S. Okay, why? Why do I feel that way? Well, the United States, we have this spending problem, okay? We have this spending problem. We spend twice as much money as we bring in. So when we bring in $3 trillion in tax money, we spend $6 trillion. Now, a lot of the MMT, the modern monetary theory crowd, they'll tell you that there's no problem, Mike. This is the new way. It's the new way. Now, when I was in my economics classes, we never had MMT. We never even talked about such a concept. We knew it was bad. It's not going to end well. Look it. We're spending twice as much. We're living beyond our means. Okay, now, is there anyone that thinks this is going to end good? Is there anyone? Give me the comment if you think it's going to end well. I don't think it's going to end well. We're almost $30 trillion in debt. Right? But that doesn't, our unfunded liabilities are about $100 trillion. Now, these are huge numbers, right? The Federal Reserve on their balance sheet, they keep buying everything with your money, my money, with taxpayer money. They keep buying everything. And they're going to buy everything until it blows up. They're heading to 10 trillion. I think we're at 8.7 trillion on their balance sheet right now. Look at the MMT guys, they'll tell you that doesn't do any harm to just spend this money. We got a $3.5 trillion spending bill out there on top of a 1.5 stimulus bill. I mean, right there, it tells you something. Look at, that's $5 trillion that we do not have. If we had the money, that's one thing. But we don't have the money, so we have to print the money. And we print it out of nowhere. Now, okay, it's kind of like if you went to McDonald's every day for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and you'd think this is eating healthy. You would get the French fries, the burgers, you get the shakes, and you'd tell me, Mike, it doesn't do any harm. Look at me. I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. If you do that for a year, you're going to be in jeopardy of having a heart attack. There was a movie out, I think it's called Super Size Me, where the guy would go to McDonald's for every meal of the day. A morning, he'd go have breakfast, and they'd say, would you like to supersize that, sir? And he'd say, supersize me. And he did this 3 times a day. He was going to do it as a documentary to end at 30 days. Do you realize he had to go to the hospital after 14 days? I mean, this guy was dying. He was, he was getting supersized. The United States is in jeopardy of having a heart attack. It has a problem. It has a spending problem. Now, what we got coming up? What do we got coming up? Well, this debt ceiling. Next month, we're at the end of September. It's like 2 weeks away. The debt ceiling. They're going to vote in Congress to raise the debt debt ceiling. Believe me, I am against raising the debt ceiling. I know the U.S. cannot pay its bills. They cannot. And that's why they have to raise the debt ceiling. If they don't raise the debt ceiling, the bills don't get paid. I get that. We need fiscal responsibility. Look at the United States. It's broken. And it's going to stay broken until we fix the problem. And you can't fix the problem with more spending. The United States is going to have a heart attack. We have to get fiscal responsibility somehow, some way. And it might start with not raising the debt ceiling. What we really need to do is get back to sound money. Sound money is like gold, like silver. I mean, when you have sound money, you just can't print your way to prosperity. No country has ever printed its way to prosperity. It will not happen. Now, AOC, she'll tell you it's going to happen, but she's a little bit crazy. She says all we have to do is print money and tax the rich. Well, it doesn't work that way. And then she thinks she can go on a spending spree and get this Green New Deal thing through. No, it doesn't work that way. Look, I am against raising the debt ceiling. I'm against it. It's going to cause all kinds of problems. Yes, we're going to default. Now, who's defaulting right now? Well, let's talk about this. The Evergrande problem, right? They're defaulting on their loans tomorrow. Okay, $300 billion in bonds that aren't going to get paid back, that are going to be completely wiped out. Now, you don't think some of that's going to fall over to the United States dollar? You're crazy. It is. It's going to have a contagion effect. It's going to get bigger. It's not going to get smaller. Now, China, they say they're going to let it go just to prove that, prove that capitalism doesn't work. They're going to punish them. They're going to wipe out $300 billion, and a lot of people are going to get hurt. A lot of markets around the world are going to get hurt. I think they're going to come in a little bit more. Now, do I think that Evergrande is the black swan that's going to crash us? No, I don't believe that. I don't think they are. Okay, but what could be the black swan? Our debt ceiling. If we don't raise the debt ceiling, yeah, that would be a black swan, and the markets would come crashing down. They're going to raise the debt ceiling. I'm telling you, I'm against it. Now, do you think, I'd like you to write a comment down there. Do you think that raising the debt ceiling, that postponing the problem, do you think that the problem will not get bigger? Do you think that it'll just kind of fade away if we could just kick the can down the road a little bit farther? I don't think it will. I think it's going to end in catastrophe, a heart attack. This is serious. We have to go fiscal responsibility. We have to get back to sound money. Now, look, when they lose faith in the dollar because we print it into oblivion, eventually they're going to have to go back to sound money because nobody's going to have faith in the dollar. The dollar's going to zero. Look at what they want you to look at, the MMT crowd. They want you to look at the stock market. Look at the stock market. It's doing so well. Look over here. Don't look at your food prices. Don't look at the bill when you go to the grocery store. Look at, they tell you there's no inflation. Well, there is inflation. They'll tell you the dollar's rising. It's rising against other currencies around the world that are doing the same thing. They're out there printing the money also. They're doing the exact same thing. So yeah, maybe the dollar's rising against the Mexican peso. I don't know. But I'm telling you what it's not rising against. It's not rising against food prices. It's not rising against gas prices. It's not rising against your rent. The dollar is collapsing, and it's taking more and more dollars to buy food, more and more dollars at the gas station, more and more dollars to pay your rent. It just goes on and on and on. If we don't get back to fiscal responsibility, we're going to lose our country. It's going to end in catastrophe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Put the comments down there. I think I'm right on this. I do. I think I'm right. And I also think I'm right that the stock market is going to come in. It's going to come in more. It's too early to buy this dip. Now, if you're a trader, and most people are not. Most people, they lose money when they trade because they overtrade. They get in, they get out. They get in, they get out. And right now, it is a trader's market. You can make money doing that. Okay? I love it. I love these 300, 500 point swings. I love it because you can just get in, take your profits, and get out. And it's great. But if you're buying the dip for the the next move up? No, it's too early. Too early. We may get a little more bounce today when Jerome talks. We may, he may come out and say we're not going to taper, and then the market's going to go boom, 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 boom up. But if he says we're going to taper, could go boom, boom, boom down. I'm telling you, this market right now is volatile, but it's going to come in. There's going to be a time to buy this dip. There's going to be a time. The time is not yet. It will retest the lows and it will go lower, but we may get a little rally here first. That's okay. I love trading this market. Now, if you really like this stuff, give me a thumbs up. It helps me. It helps me out. Now, I want to talk to you later in the week. I mean, it's only Wednesday. This week has been exciting, hasn't it? Think about it. I mean, what we drop like 1,000 points on Monday, and then did you see that rally at the end on Monday? I mean, was that the plunge protection team? Did they just jump in and buy the market? Well, we were down 1,000. We only closed down like 650. I mean, and that was in the last 15 minutes. Look at that, 350 point move in the last 15 minutes. And then on Tuesday, we had a rally. We were up 300, and then we closed down. I mean, this is a trader's market. Right now, we're up 350. I'm telling you, anything can happen because we got the Fed talking. The Fed's going to talk today. They're going to give us the news. We'll see what happens, right? I'm Tall Mike. I hope you liked it. Get out there. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll talk again real soon. Bye-bye now.